Well, hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Today is the 20th of November of 2017. My name is Pete Connor, your show's host, and a couple of informative guests for you today. We've got first up, His Honor, the Mayor Tom Kuntz of the City of Owatonna. And then we'll have Anisha Zak, who is the Workforce Coordinator with Steele County Works, an organization that's fairly new to the main streets of our county's city. So we'll be looking forward to what Anisha has to say about her work. We always appreciate your feedback about what you see on Owatonna Today. So, you know, if you have some information about people or things that need some publicity, why don't you let us know that by giving Leanne a call at 390-5751 or by shooting us an email at owatonnatoday@charter.net. And now we're going to take a quick break for some messages from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with Tom Kuntz. So please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltvet.
And I'm Dr. Nick Vincelli of Horizon Eye Care.
We want you to see what you love and love how you see. We're proud sponsors of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And as always, a hearty welcome to Mayor Tom. Welcome to the show.
Pete, it's always a pleasure to be here with you. As mayors and past mayors, it's always
exactly.
a good conversation. So.
You know, it's got to be better for you, though, because you always say it's fantastic.
Life is fantastic. The good Lord blesses us every day.
Yes,
so,
yes, He does. He allows us to be here.
He does.
Right.
And some of the fantastic stuff is, if Friday night you would have been to the transitional housing, what great talented singers we have in Owatonna, you know. Our entertainment for Owatonna is just...
Music has always been a thing here.
It has been always great, so yes. And what about our Huskies?
Football,
Yeah.
Sure.
Winning and going back to the state
back to the
title,
state,
and Saturday night they play at 5 o'clock and take on, I believe, Elk River.
Elk River.
And so that should be fantastic too. Yeah.
A lot of pride, a lot of reasons to be proud of our city and of the people. And especially, you know, we talk about kids with Anisha coming up after, you know, talking about kids, and you know, it's so important that we recognize and, you know, take care of our kids. But hey, we got to talk. What's number 5 and number 20? The two digits that we got to talk about. Tom, what's up with 5 and 20?
You know, we have been very, very fortunate. We are one of number 5 for the best cities in Minnesota, and that comes out on the 30th of this month. There's a contingency of us going up to the cities, and they will announce on the 30th, the evening of the 30th, if we are one of the top 5. We are one of the top 5, but if we're the top city in Minnesota.
According to who? Who's the who's doing this?
This is put on by the chambers and everybody else, and it's done by Frank Blink on that, but it's one of the magazines that are doing it. Pardon?
Minnesota Monthly.
Minnesota Monthly is putting it on, yep.
All right.
Thank you very much, yep. Okay. And then the other thing is they put an application in for Deluxe Corporation, and Deluxe Corporation has a $500,000 grant that can be used to help rehabilitate your downtown area and stuff like that. And there was over 3,000 entries, and we were one of the top 20.
Wow.
And so that will be whittled down to top 10 and top 5. So we have got a lot of good things going on. Yeah. And I just got across from my ARP section. We are one of the, we are the the happiest state in the United States. So Minnesota. So there's a lot of good things going on in Owatonna and Minnesota.
Right. Somebody didn't tell that to somebody.
You know, and one of the things I always say, maybe Owatonna gets all that recognition because every time you talk to somebody from outside of the state, it's Ottawa. It's pronounced many different ways.
Oh,
so,
sure, yeah.
So it's a catchy name that sticks with people.
Yeah, it is. And you know, I mean, there are people who have stopped in who have stayed.
Exactly.
You know, and I guess that happens with kind of like lots of places. But you know, we have to exhibit the kind of hometown pride. I think that really it allows us to go out and when we're away from town to talk about our where we are and what happens and what's good about our place. So
You talked about just when we was coming in this morning, all the traffic and everything. So
Yeah.
Owatonna is really a bustling city. It's
Yeah.
And some of the things we've got going on to help make that. If you look at downtown now, all those houses were moved. And,
Yeah.
that new hotel is going to go up in there. They will start construction probably. Not a hotel, it's an apartment
Yeah,
complex.
that's what I was gonna say,
And they'll
yeah.
probably start the construction in March of next
Yeah.
year. So there's a lot of good things. We added over 300 new rooms, apartment complex rooms, in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the one that was done out by the theater, you look at the one that's done out by Hy-Vee, across the street from Hy-Vee.
Yeah.
and
Is that
then-
open yet, do you know?
That is not open
Not
yet,
open
nope.
yet, okay.
And then the one down on Pearl Street, there's a lot of great things going on in Owatonna.
Multifamily is booming, I guess. What about single family development?
We have, last year there were 30 new homes built. This year there's 30 new homes built. So we're staying pace with what we have for the last couple of years. We're not like Shakopee, which has got 1,500 going in and everything, but we're doing okay, I think, so. yeah.
Any idea what the value is, permit value of our development that way?
Oh, probably
Several
somewhere
million.
around that 250, somewhere around that area,
yeah,
so.
okay.
And we talk about housing for the low income, you gotta be under that $200,000 range, but that's hard to get to. Yeah, it's very hard to get to, so. We continue to work on that and stuff, so.
So we are in fall time, late fall time. Certainly, the assumption is that soon weather is going to change. We're going to get the white stuff. How ready are we to roll with our equipment, et cetera, et cetera?
We are ready, willing, and able to do it. So, as the police have been very active the last couple of weeks, getting ready for our winter parking ordinance, and they've just been putting warning tickets on
See them
vehicles.
around,
And after the 15th, now they will start putting tickets on, and so it's just an education to try and get our citizens aware that it's odd, even parking during the winter. And what it says, you always look forward midnight and after. Is it an odd day or an even day?
Right.
And so you got to look at the odd side of the street or the even side of the street.
And from noon till midnight, it doesn't matter.
No, from noon to midnight,
Right.
cul-de-sacs, it doesn't matter and stuff like that. But
Before you put the head on the pillow, make sure the car is on the right side of the street.
and it's really important at this time of the year because a lot of people get family and friends for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, and they're not aware of that. So you got to remind your company that it's odd even parking, even if there's no snow on the ground. So, and I think we've got 8 vehicles that do most of the snow removal, and we've got 3 road graders that help do that. And one of the things that Kyle's doing this year, they're using their GPS system in order to identify routes and how they're going to put the routes together. So they'll have of that 8 trackers or those 8 plows, each one of those will be assigned an area rather than have 2 or 3 go to one area. So different areas will be being plowed at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah,
we're
there's
ready.
little ways to fine tune the process.
It's always, Kyle's always looking at ways to fine tune that, so.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, so I guess there's mounds of sand that are ready to be spread out.
This year they will be going to more salt, less sand. Sand's always a problem. You got to pick it up in the spring and everything.
Sure. Yeah.
And everybody asks me, what do they do with that sand? Can they reuse it or whatever?
Yeah.
And that sand that gets picked up after the winter on the streets goes out to the landfill and they use it as cover.
Okay.
I didn't know that till I asked Kyle.
Yeah, I suppose because it's basically chemically saturated with the salt. Can't
Yep.
use it for
Yeah, use it for cover
playgrounds,
out the landfill.
that type of thing. Yeah.
Well,
All right.
one of the things that we've been working hard at, and we start in July, is the budget.
Yeah.
And the budget incorporates all departments, and I think that Rhonda and the department heads pretty much have that fine-tuned this year. And we're looking at somewhere around the 9.3 to 9.6 levy increase. And a lot of people are going to say, that's a lot. We've been into the 2s and 3s and levy increases in the past 5-6 years. But one of the things that we're going to try and accomplish, and the City Council is committed to, is streets and improvements in parking lots and also buildings in the capital side of it. The City of Owatonna has 100 buildings, and they all need work, and they all need some maintenance. So they want to start a building and fund, and so that of that 9.5% levy increase, 5% of that creates about $500,000, and that'll go into a fund that will be used to maintain buildings and do capital improvements on streets. They're also looking at, with that $500,000, they would then bond, I think, about $2 million, and they have a whole list of parking lots and streets and public improvements they want to get done in order to do that.
Yeah, okay.
And when is the right time to do that? You know, it's always a big question and a big issue. All that stuff has been put off for the last 5 to 6 years because of the recession and everything that's going on.
Well, one thing we know is that it is not going to get cheaper next year.
It's not going to get cheaper next year. So,
Right. So that's I know that's I guess it's what we need to do. And the other thing is, just given your comments earlier about economic development, is that we've become wealthier. I mean, building homes, building apartment buildings, and the like.
yeah, the tax
is-
capacity continues to grow,
Right.
and we continue to try and put those dollars to good work.
Yeah.
You know, one of the fun things is you go downtown now and you got Ace Hardware.
Yes.
That building is really starting to
It
take
is,
shape.
isn't
So
it?
they hope to be opened, I think, in February, March next year, fully
Right.
open and stuff like that. And there's some exciting news going on for the old Ace Hardware building. I can't publicly say what it is at the moment, but
Well, I know what it is. I thought everybody knew what it was.
well, then you can say it and I can
Well, it's the
join
Hallmark store is coming in
in.
there.
The Hallmark store?
That's what I heard.
The Hallmark store will be part of Ace Hardware.
Oh, it's going to be in the new building?
It's going to be in the new building.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
then your exciting news will have to wait.
And I got to get permission from the person
Oh,
that's
sure.
going to do that
Yeah,
in order to do
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, I haven't-
But it will be a great addition to downtown
Cool.
in the old Ace Hardware store.
All right.
And
One
sure,
last thing that we got to tuck is your proclamation. You have.
you know, I think that's one of the greatest things that the high school's got going for is DECA. You know, and DECA is the school is concerned with business education, training students for productivity, satisfying, and careers. And DECA is one of those programs that does that. And so,
Been around for a long time.
been around for a long
It
time.
has, yeah.
I've had my grandson that's 16 years old in Chaska, just had to take a test to join DECA and stuff,
Right.
and he's part of the DECA up in Chaska. So,
right.
great program.
It is that, yeah. Okay. I'm looking at all the papers you got. I think we've touched every one of them
I
so
think
far.
for
Anything
now,
else?
and this time of year, you always do the final thing on curb and cutters and lawn mowing and get those bills ready to go out to everybody so you can close off your business. Yeah.
And we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, and it's always fun, family and friends.
Good to have you here. See you next time.
Pete, thank you very, very much.
Okay, Tom.
Yep.
See you. And thank you for being with us today. We're going to stay tuned for Anisha, and so we'll have some commercial messages, and we'll be right back. So stay with us.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas produced by gas-fired appliances in your home. The state of Minnesota requires that you have a carbon monoxide alarm within 10 feet of sleeping areas in your home. We suggest you have a digital readout carbon monoxide alarm. That way we were able to check and see what the concentration amount was when the alarm went off. This has been a public safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, I'm Betsy Linger from the Owatonna Foundation. Your generosity has made Owatonna a better place to live by benefiting our community, the arts, recreation, and education. Please consider a donation today. The Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, I'm Tim Anderson, the owner of Anytime Fitness, where we make getting healthy affordable and convenient. Anytime Fitness is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and a hearty welcome to Anisha Zak.
Hi, thanks
Hello.
for having me.
Yeah, well, it's what you know. Anisha is she's going to tell what she does, workforce coordinator for the county. But so she's new, but she's not so new because before this you were.
I was at Big Brothers Big
Sisters. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So I was looking at her face and I think, I've seen this lady around someplace before. I couldn't figure her out, and we'd probably pass each other on our way in and out of offices.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Well, welcome again
Thank
to
you.
the show. Let's get right to it. You've assumed this it's a brand new
Yep.
position.
It just started the end of August.
Okay.
So just a little over a couple months.
Yeah. So, let's talk about your background. Working with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. It's service kind of stuff, but this is kind of a departure from that, I would think.
Yep. So, I grew up just down the road in Dodge Center.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Went to college in Mankato, and then my first job out of college was at St. Mary's School here in town.
Oh.
And then I went to Wee Pals downstairs, and then to Big Brothers Big Sisters, and now I'm here in this role. So.
Yeah. All right. And your educational background?
Yep. So I have my bachelor's degree in child development.
Ah, okay. So when we talk about children, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be little wee ones.
That's right. Nope.
I mean, you're going to deal
I'm
with
going full circle
high
now.
schoolers.
So, yeah.
Yeah, still children.
Yep.
Yeah, good. What's the essence of the job of the program? What is it designed to do?
It's typically to help those students who are about to graduate from high school who don't have a plan, or maybe they need help establishing their plan that they have in their mind already. We don't want students to walk across the stage in May with their diploma and then say, "Ooh, now what?"
Yeah.
We want to help them have a plan, whether it be entering the workforce or going off to some kind of post-secondary education, whether it be a 2-year degree or 4-year college.
Right.
So we're kind of giving them those resources, but even if the student does go off to college and let's say college doesn't work out for them, because sometimes it's just not for everybody,
Sure.
we want them to come back to Steele County and realize that there are good self-sustaining jobs right here in their back door, and keep them here in our county finding some work for them.
Just basically, based on what the mayor and I talked about, with respect to economic development right here in the city. I mean, great opportunities for all kinds of different occupations and things for people, especially young people, to do.
Yes.
I'm sure you hear a lot of times, "Well, I want to get educated and I'm getting out of here. I gotta."
Right.
Everybody wants to leave home.
Yep.
And 5 years later, where are they?
They're back
home. Yeah.
Yep. And Owatonna is a great, location because we're right south of the cities and between Mankato and Rochester. So it's a good place to grow your career and raise a family.
Sure. So you are, the sponsorship of the program is coming from where?
Yeah, so my big title is I'm a Steele County Workforce Entry Coordinator.
Okay.
And it's a partnership between the Owatonna Chamber of Commerce, Workforce Development, and the United Way of Steele County.
Okay.
So all three of them are pulling together. We meet together every month to talk about what kind of things I'm doing, what I can be doing differently, using their resources, and we're all kind of working together to spread this initiative across Steele County.
Okay.
I do have an office out at the Riverland campus, in our workforce development office out there, and then I'm also in the Owatonna High School, but I'm not limited to serving Owatonna High School students. I'm also serving Medford High School, Blooming Prairie High School, the Alternative Learning Center, and Choice Technical Academy as well.
Okay, where's that?
That's at the
Pillsbury.
Pillsbury.
Okay. I knew there was an academy. I forgot the name, I guess.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So I serve children children/adults 16 to 24 years old. And that's kind of the nice thing about my job is these students are going to graduate and they're going to go off, but we want them to know that their resources don't end there. Like I can stick with them till they're 24 years old. So if they do go off and try something and it doesn't work out for them, I'm still here to help them find a new path.
So you, as a coordinator, obviously then you have to be, at least I think obviously you have to be aware of what's going on at you're a graduate of Minnesota State you want to know what's going on there, so that you might be directing someone to that place,
Right.
or to Rochester Community College, or to Winona State, or
Yep.
wherever.
Yep. So I've been doing a lot of contact with admissions at surrounding area colleges because these students want into those colleges, and it's kind of new to me to 10 years later for me to learn how you apply and what qualifications they might have now in colleges and such. And then the other half of my job is I'm out meeting with area employers, HR managers. They've invited me in to tour their facility just one-on-one so I can see exactly what the jobs will be like.
Sure.
So I can make that connection when I'm meeting with a student who says, you know what, I really like hands-on work and I'd be interested in welding.
Yeah.
Well, then I can think in my head, oh gosh, I just toured Daikin and I know that they are hiring for this and they look for these kind of qualifications and you need to have this in order to do it. So,
Right. So I'm one of your school contacts. What are you going to do with me? So I come walking into your office saying, and you say, well, what's going on with you? And I say, oh, nothing. And you say, sit down, we're going to talk.
So a nice thing about being at Workforce Development is I have some, career profile assessment tests that we can take, and it will track what kind of interest you have, and then it'll give us some results of maybe what you would be good at. And then what kind of careers they have in that field and what that career pays, and so on. So we can go through that first, but it's all one-on-one counseling that I'm doing. So depending if you're thinking career-based, we'll just not even worry about college and we'll look at the different career options and career paths there are. Maybe set you up with a job shadow experience, internship. That's the nice thing about working out of the high school is you can get some credit for those internships.
Sure.
But maybe you need help with mock interviews or you need help making a resume. That's also something I can do too. So
how do you interface then with the counselors at the various high schools?
Yeah, that's a great question. So my office is right in between all 4 of the Owatonna high schools, and they're the ones that are referring the students to me. All the students are referred to me typically through the counselors at each high school.
Right.
So they'll send me the student's name, I'll set up a time, and I'll call that student down, and we kind of go from there. I've been meeting with them monthly so far.
And that happens in all the other districts as well, then,
Yep,
doesn't it?
yep.
So what would be if you know right now, kind of what's your student load? I mean, how many contacts
So
are you
far,
working with?
I've met with 62 students across Steele County, and I believe we had a goal for me to have come up with a plan for 100 students by June.
Okay.
So I'm on track to surpass that.
That's for sure.
So that's really good, though, because I'm glad that there's this resource there for our students now.
You have, and it's maybe an unfair question to load or lay on you. Do you have any idea what the dropout rate is? I mean, for kids who are nothing, okay, but there are some who are probably on the edge, who might say, and they might come to you and you have an opportunity to encourage them to stay. It's really important for them to have the diploma. Nothing wrong with the GED per se for someone who was not able to get the diploma, but a diploma is really important. So I imagine you got to encourage people to stay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and I haven't run into that. I mean, most of these students are on track to graduate. It's just the plan after they graduate is what we're really wanting to help them with.
Yeah.
So.
For employer contacts, when you start talking about, I think with the big box, referencing Owatonna, with Viracon, maybe Federated, Winger, and so forth. What about the smaller organizations? How do they play into this? Let's say retail, commercial.
Yeah, I haven't made a ton of connections yet with the smaller businesses, just because I've only been a couple months.
Yeah.
But there are that would be great for me to do because a lot of students are interested in those smaller type businesses, whether it be owning a gym or cosmetology, or sales or food service, childcare. So there are some great resources that I'm slowly dabbing into, or I'll ask, Brad at the Chamber if he has a connection there, or Tanya at United Way. So we all kind of play together.
We need to think about these things, but our heart really is important too. I mean, for all of us, and the kids especially. What's in your heart? What do you think you'd like to do? What kind of drives you? What do you daydream about?
Right, because you don't want them to go down a career path that they aren't going to enjoy, because they'll just end up quitting.
$20,000 a year later.
That's right.
And they're making another change. Ooh, that could be an expensive Yeah, problem.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're underway. You're doing your thing, and I guess the proof is going to be in the pudding.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, the community has been wonderful.
Yeah.
They've all joined together to help this initiative, and it seems like we're all on the same page wanting
Cool.
to help out these students. So
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, listen, best wishes.
thank you.
Hope it goes well for you.
Yeah, me
and,
too.
We'll have you back to get some updates as to how things are going.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sounds good.
Best wishes.
Thanks,
Happy
Pete.
Thanksgiving. We'll see you
Same
around.
to you.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And thank you for being with us today as well. We're going to take some time now for sponsor messages, and then we'll be right back. So please stay with us.
At Triumph Graphics, we think beyond ink. That's why you should make us your source for creative concept, design, print, mail, and web. Check us out today at triumphgraphics.com.
Hi, my name is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance. We're here to handle all your insurance needs. We are a very proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. We've got some community announcements for you. Transitional Housing of Steele County has an Eliminate Homelessness event. It's sponsored by Transitional Housing. It's November 21st at 7 a.m. a breakfast, and as well that noontime on that same day, a luncheon. They'll both be at the Holiday Inn. Hear more about how the mission is working for Transitional Housing and how you can help. RSVP, call Transitional Housing of Steele County at 507-446-9315. Performances of LTO's Snapshots, Memories, Moments, Music will be one weekend only, Thursday through Saturday, November 30th and December 1st and 2nd at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday, December 3rd at 2 p.m. Tickets are available at the Little Theater box office. You can access that through www.littletheaterowatonna, one word. On Saturday, November 25th, the LTO box office will be open. Monday, November 27th, it can be reached at 507-451-0764. It's Soup Supper Time, Friday, December 1st, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m., Steele County History Center. The 2017 Canadian Pacific Holiday Train will be coming to Owatonna on Tuesday, December 5th from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. at 1145 Park Drive in the Industrial Park. The performance will start at 4:15 p.m. Everyone is encouraged to bring a donation for the Steele County Food Shelf. And a part of the pilot program, Owatonna Hospital Foundation is now offering vouchers to assist patients in paying for transportation after they leave the hospital. More than $4,000 was approved to launch this pilot program, which assists patients that face challenges such as not being able to afford transportation to their homes or who are discharged during weekends, holidays, or odd hours. The Owatonna Hospital Foundation is currently working with local transportation providers to begin accepting hospital vouchers as payment. A ride home should never be the reason why someone decides not to get the care they need. Owatonna Hospital Foundation is looking for contributions to help sustain the patient transportation program. So if you are interested in learning more or would like to contribute, email them at owattonnafoundation@alina.com, and that's going to take care of it for today. We will have on Wednesday, get my sheet up here, we will have Missy Ahrens, oops, wrong one, Jerry Shore and Don Overly are going to be aboard to tell us about Toys for Tots, and Jan Karish, representing the Salvation Army Bell Ringing Project, will be here as well. Thanks for being here today. Look forward to having you back on Wednesday.